have a ball game for you in ways you couldn't imagine. OCAA men's basketball action from the Sportsplex of Windsor, Ontario, as the Sheridan Bruins are set to take on the St. Clair Saints. Welcome back to We Digital Productions here in the Monts on Time Express broadcast booth. Aaron Sanders with Royal Church. This is a game for the ages because this means a top placement in for these teams today. Let's begin the story for the Sheridan Bruins, who are averaging 97 points per game. That's huge in the OCAA. And on top of that, they're riding on a two-game winning streak, Royal. And as you can see, this is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, they sure are. They'll push the ball like crazy. They'll try to get it up the floor as quickly as possible so they can get easy scores. And the thing is, you've got to stop a team like that from getting the ball out to the guards and up the floor. So the forwards for St. Clair have to hang around after the rebound and not allow the forwards get the ball to the guards, get the ball up the floor too fast.
And has to say something about the veteran leadership, especially for Nick Campbell, the key player for the Sheridan Bruins. 41 points earlier this month against Redeemer and leads the OCAA in scoring.
Yeah, Nick Campbell is the guy to stop, and I think St. Clair's got some pretty good personnel that they can put somebody on them and depend on that particular player to shut down Nick Campbell.
St. Clair Saints on the other side of the court, 12-4 record. They were able to take care of business against the Canadore Panthers last weekend, and 90 points per game for them. Key factor today, David Gomez Jr. isn't playing. The question is, who do you expect to step up for them?
Yeah, you're right. David Gomez Jr. is their #1 scorer, and he is as prolific a scorer as there is in the OCAA division. He, I think that if you look at, there's Hussam Shallow, somebody who's going to have to step up and score points because of Gomez Jr. being out of the game.
Well, for somebody in the one position like him, he's been doing a tremendous job since the second half of the season began. So the same Shallow right there, 8 rebounds twice, last month against Niagara and last week against Canadore. So for him to get the start, it says a whole lot about how much responsibility they have. Okay, that's the story. The Bruins and the Saints set to do battle. JP Justin Prince will join me on the call. We'll return to the Sportsplex after this word.
Hey, Herman Moore here, Detroit Lions legend and 4-time Pro Bowl player. Hey, get your tickets and join me for the 15th Annual Westby Awards on Tuesday, March 10th at the Caboto Club.
The 15th Annual Westby Awards are brought to you in part by Unifor Local 444, Lucier Glove and Safety, Hotham Building Materials, AM 800 CKLW, and We Digital Productions.
Are you passionate about a particular sport? Would you like to combine it with your education? Are you thinking about a career in one of the many rewarding construction-related trades? Do you love subjects like science, technology, engineering, or math? Take a look at the academies of the Windsor-Essex Catholic District School Board. You'll be glad you did. And years from now, you'll look back on your high school days as the best times of your life. The Academies of the Windsor-Essex Catholic District School Board. We're with you all the way.
Hi, I'm DJ Smith, head coach of the Ottawa Senators. For the best in local sports coverage, We Digital.
On Time Express has all of your delivery needs covered with a fleet of 50 vehicles, including cargo and sprinter vans, along with 24-foot straight trucks. It doesn't matter if the freight is big or small. Mont's On Time Express can guarantee safe and prompt delivery service throughout Canada and the United States. Licensed to broker freight throughout North America, Mont's On Time Express features same-day delivery service, along with a state-of-the-art dispatching system and live GPS tracking assistance. Mont's is fully insured and Canadian bonded and has certifications with FAST, CTAT, PIP, and SmartWay. Mont's On Time Express is open 24 hours a day, 364 days a year. To get your delivery moving, contact Mont's On Time Express at www.montsontime.ca or call toll-free at 877-250-8282.
Welcome back, everyone, to Windsor, Ontario for tonight's pivotal OCAA men's basketball matchup between the Sheridan Bruins and the St. Clair Saints on Weed Digital Productions. Justin Prince alongside Aaron Sanders in the Mont's On Time Express broadcast booth. And this is a big one, Aaron. Many people have had stars next to this game for weeks because this could determine playoff seeding and the big picture. A lot to discuss. These teams will start these players for tonight's matchup. For the 13-4 Bruins, it's Jamal Edwards starting alongside Simpson. Alex Campbell, projecting Nick Campbell to make the start, King and Denzel DePaul round out the starting five for the Bruins. For Shawo, he'll make the start for the Saints, along with Davis, Petty, Harmon, and Willis Paris for the 12-4 St. Clair Saints. Pivotal matchup tonight. Aaron, lots on the line to say the very least.
Placing for home court for the turnaround round. And for St. Clair, they're riding on good vibrations right now, coming off a win against Canadore last week. But they have to go toe-to-toe against the OCAA gold medalist from a year ago.
Yes, absolutely. Right now, the situation, St. Clair looking to try and move themselves into the top three in the standings because right now, they're outside of the position for a crossover game. We'll get into more detail as this broadcast progresses, but the Saints will be in the white jerseys today, along with the green trim, the Bruins in the blue jerseys with the white and black trim for tonight's pivotal matchup. Tonight's officials, Paul Carter, Brandon Tinley, Matt Hartman. Man, oh man, this should be an interesting one. Your keys to victory.
I think it all starts on a fast start. Make sure you get the tempo on early on. You make sure some of your bigs share the ball around. And most importantly, comes down to defense. I think it comes down to defense. Like the last game, I think that's what's going to come down to.
Tip-off about to get underway. Harmon wins the tip over Denzel DePaul. St. Clair immediately goes to Davis. Shawo gives it off to Petty. Petty back outside. Shawo from deep off the front of the rim. Second chance. Willis Paris banks it in.
And what did I say about that fast start? Glenn Willis Paris was ready for that rebound. She boxed out.
And a bursting start to the scoreboard by King for the Bruins in response. Harmon already in front of the three-point line. Gives it to Davis. The mid-range doesn't draw iron. Taken up by Stephon Stimson. Campbell spins his way in. Down the baseline. Through the traffic, it's good. King.
That's just a beautiful jump poke over Willis Paris. And Sheridan by 2.
Tyshawn King averaged 6 points per game entering tonight. Harmon tips it in to tie it up at 4.
And again, Jalen Harmon is one of those guys that improved his game since the second half began.
Down low, Denzel DePaul with the push. And points in the paint, aplenty early on. Just past 1 minute into the first quarter on Weed Digital Productions for OCAA men's basketball action. Foul on the floor, first free throws coming up.
I thought that was a risky pass, but luckily St. Clair was able to find a man down low. The Bruins try to swallow them up as best they can, but it all comes down to the contact when you're contesting the shot.
King caught for his first personal first-team foul. That brings Dalen Davis to the line to shoot for 2. St. Clair as a team, just under 74% from the stripe, 73.8 to be precise. And it was a stellar game last time out for Davis, a double-double.
Yeah, amazing job against Canadore. 21 points, 10 rebounds, and change to his name.
Both free throws made to tie it back up at 6. Denzel DePaul takes it up. Campbell swings it out. Edwards back outside. Campbell. 11 on the shot clock. Reset by Edwards on the play. 7 on the shot clock to work with. Drives. Petty with the swan. 3 defenders dive on it. Whistles blow. Jump ball scenario. Possession arrow stays on that end of the floor. 1 was on the shot clock.
Quick catch and shoot. That's all you could do.
Keep an eye on the man in the 11 jersey, bottom of your screen. Chucks it up, can't get it to go. Willis Paris on the rebound. Harmon brings it back up. Moved around to Petty, outside Showell for three, yes sir! First triple of the game by either side, 9-6 St. Clair. Response back, Denzel DePaul. Given back outside. Simpson gives it to Campbell, the drive, the bucket. And the OCAA's leading scorer is on the board and gets the steal. Nearly kept the ball too, but it goes back to St. Clair. And your thoughts on Campbell? You talked about him being in the pregame. Your thoughts on how he is as a player?
A very versatile player. When it comes to getting the ball into his hands, he could switch his shot at any given time. He doesn't rely on just one shot all the time, and that's what it comes down to when it comes to the veteran leadership.
Backcourt violation. The pass to Petty went between the wickets. Possession goes back to the Bruins. The Bruins, led by veteran head coach Jim Flack, 28 years of experience in the OCAA with the program, and a backcourt violation again, this time against the Bruins. And Simpson can't believe it.
So both of these clubs are now even out as far as backcourt violations are concerned. But again, to get back to Jim Flack, putting up a terrific championship team from a year ago speaks a lot of volumes.
Davis moves on the perimeter outside for three, off the back of the rim. Picked up by Campbell on the rebound. Averages about under 6 rebounds a game as well on the season. He sets up the play at the top. Harmon on man-to-man D. Petty trying to come with the help. Outside Simpson. It's good from deep.
And you saw that St. Clair's defense just sagged right down to the basket, open up an opportunity for Simpson, and he connected on the tray.
Showell, the quick transition three, meanwhile misses. Willis Paris gets it to drop.
No answer for him as the Bruins defense sagged down right there and just had no attention to Willis Paris at all.
And a bit of a size advantage down low with the 6'6", and an air whistle called. And this is going to bring them the arrow way. Offensive foul called. That goes against Denzel DePaul.
And again, the putback on Willis Paris. Everybody's just standing there while Willis Paris had the easy two.
Missed by Willis Paris, taken up by Campbell. Campbell sprints his way forward, loses the ball. Bruins keep possession with 18 on the shot clock. Approaching 4 minutes into the first quarter, and so far, very high-scoring game for first frame, with some good defensive plays mixed in.
And the question is, why is anybody surprised that this is happening? These are clubs that average in the mid-90s as the three goes this time around for Nick Campbell.
Campbell, the fifth-year senior with the bucket. 3-point lead. Showell, the three, back. Bucket. Why don't we trade buckets, shall we, Aaron?
Well, this is a shootout, if anything.
Edwards, the layup on back. Taken up by Petty after the inbound, given to Harmon. Harmon moves it up for three. Yes, he's got it.
This game's slowly turning to a game of name that tune, because the song I'm thinking in my head right now is anything you could do, I could do better. Both of these clubs exchanging shots. St. Clair with the lead.
Approaching halfway to the first quarter on Weed Digital Productions. 17-16 St. Clair the score. Ball out of bounds. St. Clair possession. And here comes one of the top players from deep onto the floor. And the first substitutions for the Saints, Josiah Deere in for Harmon. And a multiple substitution movement now from the Bruins as they bring in Ramar Subban amongst the substitutions. They also bring Denzel DePaul away from the huddle. Parker Brooks now lined up on the floor alongside Campbell. Rounding out the five is King. Deere. Gives it off to Harmon. Over Campbell for three. This time can't draw iron.
It's just a good sense of defense from Campbell.
And Penny with the top steal. Gives it to Deer. The drive. The bucket. What an acrobatic move by Penny to force the steal. Campbell, the acrobatic layup in traffic, yes.
Full court pressure.
Davis gives it to Penny. They break through the press. Given off to the corner. Deer, the pass deflected to Davis. Davis draws the whistle. Met up at the top by King. And that's going to be called on the chop. 2 free throws coming up.
Josiah Deer at his place, the three-point line, and in comes Dalen Davis trying to go in for that jump hook.
This has been stifling defense so far from Sheridan, even with the high scoring.
Well, you know what? This is something that we're not strangers to. I mean, did anybody look at the women's game? It was exactly like that.
And your thoughts on this Bruins team? We talked about this before the start of the broadcast. Your thoughts on how this program has been in 2019-20?
Well disciplined, key veterans helping this young team along, and the way they've been scoring, it's really causing a frenzy up in the OCAA.
Harmon no good on the shot. Here comes Deer, finding Penny, can't hold on to the pass. And we'll go back the other direction. 4:25 to go in the first quarter and a close one. And already the Bruins sprinting it up to the three-point line. Move back outside, Denzel DePaul. Gets the pump, tries to draw contact, still drains it. And Harmon's his face.
Either way, you still have to put up a good effort to finish strong, and he thought he was going to get the foul and flicked it right up. It's one of those lucky shots.
Petty off the back rim. Campbell moves it up. Petty stays man-to-man on the man in the 11 jersey. Danzo DePaul. Swung back outside, back to Campbell. Petty with the hands. Campbell with the size back. 8 on the shot clock. Trying to size up with a screen. Pulls up from 3. Off the front of the rim, Shallow tries to keep it in, does on the rebound. Deer sprints it up. Back to Shallow for 3 again. This time no good. Hard rebound attempt. Davis gets back up on the floor. Denzel DePaul rushes it back up for the mid-range. Jump shot, yes sir. And that brought a round of applause for the bench. St. Clair having to go through the press once more. Deer with a foot on the line. Can't get it to go this time. Subban on the rebound. The Brampton, Ontario native swings it back and forth. Guarded by Deer. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Sheridan leads 22-21 over St. Clair. Petty on the defense. The bucket from Danzo DePaul. Barber's chair timeout called on the floor. The first by St. Clair. And the Bruins now lead by 3 heading into the first timeout of the night after this bucket.
And I think it's well deserved after a high-scoring affair here. Just a nice bucket in the positioning from Danzo DePaul. But, of course, Brandon Seagate not happy with what he's been seeing from St. Clair.
And last game, there was a lot to not be happy about. Look at the score differential in the first half alone, Aaron. 112-79 was the final of that one.
And you have to understand, too, that it was a game where David Gomez Jr. got injured throughout the game. So it was a tough weekend for them because they had Sheridan and then Humber on the road. But Nick Campbell and Keenan Danzo Dapa leading the Bruins with 20 points. Josiah Deer with 25, Hussein Shallow 21.
Here's one of the main things that is a common thread in this game too. We talked about this before the start of today's game. David Gomez Jr. out with an elbow injury. For those who tuned into our coverage against Canadore last weekend, you might have noticed he only played a few minutes. The elbow injury sees him not suited up for tonight's game, and that is a major key score for St. Clair's offense.
And a key scorer in the OCAA as well. That's why the same Shallow is getting the start, and the way he started things up, he's really deserving of that spot. The question is, how can he and the rest of the Saints step it up for the rest of the evening and tomorrow? Crucial weekend for the Saints.
Near full bench lineup on the floor. Miles Hall drains the bucket. Hall lined up on the floor alongside Javante Mitchell, Shallow, Deer, alongside Jawan Lynch. The 5, ball out of bounds, St. Clair possession. And the whole bench is pumped up in this key matchup. Already a lot of press and pressure. Bruins back it off. Lynch nearly loses the ball. Lynch swings it to Deer. Deer in the lane with the right hand. Back and forth we go on the scoreboard. Move back around the outside. Drive it in, Subban, over defender, no good. Second chance, the bounce back, draws the whistle. That time, it was Modou Cisse. Modou Cisse to the line for the first time on this.
And it all started on the top as Subban tries to go inside. And then a good rebound from Cisse. And Miles Hall was just on his hip the whole time. And that was just enough to draw the contact.
Foul goes against Javante Mitchell, his first personal first-team foul, as the first free throw drops for the Sheridan Bruins. On the season, 69.7% as a team. For Cisse, 44% overall.
And averaged around 2.8 points per game, too.
Can't make the second, however. Ties it up at 25. Lynch sprints it up. Shallow keeps the possession alive. Lynch directing traffic towards Deer's way. Lynch passes it away to Shallow. The extra pass. Hall goes for the layup. Yes.
For a second there, it looked like his shot was going to hit the top iron because he let it go with two hands, which is pretty risky, but a good idea for Miles Hall. He gets 2 more points.
Especially to get it over to the defenders. Outside for 3. The Bruins, no good. Shot from Brooks, doesn't draw iron. Shallow sprints it up. Pass back outside to Deer. Gets the pump, the shot, the bucket. Josiah Deer brings the lead up to 5. The response, no good. Second chance mid-range, Jay, it falls.
And we saw this similar play in the ladies' game earlier today, JP. The fact that everybody was all clustered up down on the post opened up a good opportunity near the key.
Mahmoud Kasim on the shot. Whistles coming up with free throws. And the 2 free throws coming up, you see the signal in this 3-point ball game. First personal going against Cisse. Javante Mitchell to the stripe, and Mitchell seen some playing time a lot against Canadore, seen some playing time tonight in this crucial game.
Ended up with 11 points, 4 rebounds, and more assists last week against Canadore. And again, Brandon Sieg and Matt Sykes and company giving all the bench players a lot of time and experience on the court. And I think that game against Canadore was a warm-up for these bench players. Now we're going to see how they play against the elite in the OCAA.
Contested 3, no good. Ball tapped out of bounds. Goes off of Kasim. Saints basketball. 31 seconds to go in the first quarter. 31-27, and an officials conference here. And they overturn the call. That's what the Bruins were thinking it was in a first official look. The Bruins get a 14 on the shot clock. And a great cut, a greater block from Lynch.
Where did Jawan Lynch come from? My, oh my.
Edwards on the cut. Lynch on the swat.
Well, the tape control knows what to do right here. We're running it back. And Jawan Lynch, right down to the elbow, says, get that out of here.
2 free throws coming up in live action. Meanwhile, was a foul called against St. Clair. Their second personal. Mitchell's second this quarter. And already a substitution coming up in response. Dallas Aikens. First free throw is good from Edwards. And Edwards, another fifth-year player from Brampton, Ontario. Coming off 23 points in his last outing as Aikens comes into said outing tonight.
Edwards made both of his free throws, and now Dallas Aikens adds more to the depth for St. Clair. He has the ball.
Aikens gives it quickly to Deere. Likes to drive. Gives it back to Harmon. Back to Deere for three. Back. Shot clock is off. 12 seconds to go in the first quarter. Harmon on the defense. The jump shot. Bounces in. Kassim. 1 second to go in the corner. Nearly bouncing in. Hall's chuck up shot. What a first quarter here in Windsor. 34-31 the score after 10 minutes of play. You're watching We Digital Productions live from the St. Clair College Sportsplex in Windsor, Ontario.
Hey, Herman Moore here, Detroit Lions legend and four-time Pro Bowl player. Hey, get your tickets and join me for the 15th annual Westby Awards on Tuesday, March 10th at the Caboto Club.
The 15th Annual Westby Awards are brought to you in part by Unifor Local 444, Lucier Glove and Safety, Hotham Building Materials, AM 800 CKLW, and We Digital Productions.
Are you passionate about a particular sport? Would you like to combine it with your education? Are you thinking about a career in one of the many rewarding construction-related trades? Do you love subjects like science, technology, engineering, or math? Take a look at the academies of the Windsor-Essex Catholic District School Board. You'll be glad you did. And years from now, you'll look back on your high school days as the best times of your life. The academies of the Windsor-Essex Catholic District School Board. We're with you all the way.
Do you like high-scoring games? You've come to the right place. Welcome back to We Digital Productions' coverage of OCAA men's basketball, where the St. Clair Saints lead 34-31 over the Sheridan Bruins. Justin Prince alongside Aaron Sanders in the Monson Time Express broadcast booth. Man, oh man, has it big game so far. 6 lead changes. Both teams shooting 50+% from the field, and already tons of points in the paint.
Absolutely. 18-14 plus 4 advantage for Sheridan. But I think when you look at the first quarter tape, JP, it comes down to a lot of confident shooting, and plus both of these clubs equaling each other with the terms of speed and everything else. I don't think we've seen a lot of transition plays because they were so smart on the half-court offense.
Absolutely. 50% shooting for St. Clair, 61.9% for Sheridan. The Saints have the first possession of the quarter. With it is Hall. Pick from Harmon, Aikens, along with Deere and Lynch, the 5. Harmon from deep. Off the side of the rim once more, rebounded by the Bruins. Quickly charging up is Campbell. Campbell swings it back to Edwards. Edwards chucks up the 3, tries to chase his own miss, but still drains it regardless.
Yeah, he thought he was going to miss everything of that rim, but you have to give credit to him for following through on his shot.
That's what you want to do. Aikens goes for the mid-range, can't drain his shot. Picked up on the rebound, a second straight board that time. Down low for the big man. Edwards. Pass nearly goes out of bounds. Reset into a hard collision. Harmon and Campbell, my goodness.
That's just being too aggressive on the floor with that.
That was after the pass attempt to Salman Giamfi in the reset. As both players come up.
One more look at the collision. Oh boy, look out. And this is what happens when you try to pick up on the other side offensively and defensively. It's just a collision like that. You just have to look out and be aware of your surroundings.
Petty into the ball game. Tied up at 34, approaching 1 minute into the second quarter on Weed Eater Productions. Justin Prince alongside Aaron Sanders, the Monts on Time Express broadcast booth, as Davis says hello, lead with the mid-range. The drive back, Campbell to tie it back up, draws contact, Deer on the personal.
And they're going to do that 9 times out of 10 after a made basket from St. Clair. They don't want to allow St. Clair a time to set up for the defense, so they went with a hurry-up offense, and now they're off to the line. Nick Campbell.
And Campbell, as you can see, seeing that opportunity, took advantage. Had 7 points in the first quarter. Along with the error scores, Danzo DePaul with 8 points in the first. Josiah Deer with 10. We're back to a tie ball game at 36 apiece. Both free throws are good. Lots of pressure again off the inbound. Harmon down the baseline, avoids the reach. Takes it across the timeline. Davis drives it. The tough layup goes.
Man, did he turn his body in midair, thinking that he was going to get fouled, but he was able to change his shot in midair and kissed it off the glass.
Give it to Edwards. Campbell, the drive back, and count it. And that will be an N1 situation for Campbell. Continuation on the play. Second person with a quarter, that time going against Harmon right here.
Yeah, and Harmon turned his body, which was enough contact for Campbell to flick the shot up.
And the free throw is good. 3 made already in the second quarter. Davis. Passed up to Petty. Move back to Davis. Outside Hall. Hall avoids the reach. The mid-range jumper rolls in again. And everyone's been a dead-eye shooter so far tonight. Edwards drives by Penny for the bucket.
Like I said, the hurry-up offense is applied on both of these teams. Neither team letting up.
Hurried up to Deer in the corner. And a whistle called travel.
And Josiah Deer looks a little bit shaken up on the last play.
And this is going to bring Shao into the ball game. And Deer making his way to the sideline. All right, being checked by the training staff as the Bruins take the ball up. Simpson to Danzo DePaul. Campbell with it. Move back to Danzo DePaul once again. Now with it, Giaffi.
Tie up.
Tied up. Harmon trying to jump on the basketball. And that will bring an inbound from the baseline. With 8 seconds on the shot clock after this replay. You see Harmon swatting it away. Side Deer being checked by the staff as the 3 is chucked up, no good. Ball goes off St. Clair, fresh 14 for the Bruins.
Open opportunity for the Bruins once again.
And you can see the looks right now of coaches Segan and Sykes. What do you think is going through their head in this close matchup?
How can they close out defensively?
And that's going to help them. Pass to Edwards off the inbound, goes out of bounds. St. Clair possession.
And another thing to take in consideration, the defense is not set after they make a basket. They think Sheridan is going to start in the backcourt and slowly work their way up. That's not how Bruins work. It's a game of speed, and for a team that averages 97 points a game, you're seeing more and more of the reasons why they average that.
Miles Hall with the baseline right hook. Gives St. Clair the lead again, approaching 3 minutes into the second. Edwards, the 3 back, my goodness.
That was in the face of Miles Hall.
Edwards and Campbell in double-digit points. Davis on the drive, draws the whistle. He'll be helped up by Petty. And this is just shortly after that 3.
And St. Clair not letting up after the play. And Dalen Davis just going coast to coast.
Hall making his way to the bench. Davis making his way to the stripe. Campbell called for a second personal. Kasim amongst the substitutions now in for the Bruins. He'll come in for Campbell. Again, we talked about Davis already a bit tonight. Been such a cornerstone player for the St. Clair Saints and the program for the past few seasons, Aaron.
Well, you know what? It's been an interesting ride. I think it all started a couple of years ago when they picked up David Gomez Jr. This is when Jawan Lynch had his first stint with the green and gold, and it's been picking up ever since. And just the dual work of Sykes and Segan has been working out in more ways than one at the top of the West Division.
Long shot, it's good. Kasim counts for a 2. 44, 43, Shallow, the tough layup in the top end.
For a guy that his stature, being able to tap it right in through the defense, that's just style points right there.
No call on the Petty defense. Edwards with the rebound, nearly lost the basketball. 10 seconds on the shot clock. St. Clair scrambling on defense. Pulling up for 3, no good. Ball picked up again by the Bruins. Outside Kasim. No good. Rebound picked up by Davis. He sprints it back up, approaching halfway to go in the second quarter. Petty draws the whistle. He'll go to line to shoot for 2. Petty gets the chance to shoot 2 free throws from this contact.
Well, Petty was wide open on that look from Dalen Davis.
Giamfi on the personal. His first. Second team foul, make it 3rd.
We're having a quick conference over at the scores table to see if the score is right. And yes, the Bruins lead 46-45. They had 44 on their side a moment ago.
And you see a bit of that laugh from Paul Carter. Brings a bit of a chuckle from you as well, it appears, Aaron.
Yeah.
Of course, Paul Carter, a veteran official in Windsor-Essex County.
And the Windsor-Essex County Sports Hall of Fame as well.
Penny, meanwhile, the first-year player, having a solid season, just under 8 points per game on the campaign. Your thoughts on Petty's performance and growth as a Saint?
And you know what? I think when it comes to these new players, they found some way to develop their own character with the St. Clair team. He keeps on rising up to the occasion no matter what. And with his 10 points last week against Canadore, it's shaping out to be a really good end of the season for him. What a pass.
The good pass finding Simpson. Simpson spins. The lean back, yes. Why don't we go back and forth and then some? Now double-digit lead changes in this game. Lynch nearly loses the ball. Davis nearly puts it back in. Taken back up by Simpson. Chucked up to Edwards from his hot spot. No. Lynch on the rebound. Davis on the sprint up. Driving it straight to the cup for 2. And no one has been able to hold on to the lead for a significant portion of time today. Drive back down low, no good from Subban. Moved up to Petty. And a hand was on that one for the Bruins. Substitution coming into the game for the first time, Nathaniel Alexander, the first-year player for Mississauga. Davis will also come out for Harmon.
Dalen Davis with a nice drive-by layup as he was able to get that crossover down, and that just opened up his right side to be free for that layup.
Willis Paris now onto the floor for St. Clair alongside Harmon, Shallow, Lynch, Petty the 5. Shallow again, no good. Moved back up by Sheridan. Back and forth between Brooks and Subban. Given back to Subban. Contested jump shot. Off the back screws. Harmon directs Lynch to his right. Lynch cuts in. Petty swings around. And that might be an offensive foul, yes indeed, against Lynch on the screen. Good idea, just couldn't get the execution down.
No. And we'll have another glimpse at that right down to the paint. It was just too much for Lynch to handle over Edwards.
St. Clair leads 49-48, approaching 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Outside, Kassim. Over Harmon's left hand, no good. Petty on the board once more. Lynch runs the offense for St. Clair. Sizing in, over to defenders, no good. Willis Paris draws the personal on the second chance. 14 foul against Sheridan.
It's always interesting to see Jawan Lynch bringing the ball up to the court. And Glenn Willis-Paris once again getting the rebound easily, staying right behind Sheridan, not leaning right into their body. That's all you have to do. Just go straight up, pick it up from the air, and put it right back in.
Alexander called on the personal, but Willis-Paris been impressive on the glass when he's been on the floor today. Makes the free throw right there to bring to a 50-48 game. But as someone we have talked about over the season that can shoot threes, and now we'll watch as 2 free throws are coming up. This time for Edwards.
Once again, Edwards showing that veteran leadership and responsibility as he drives right past Petty. And just look how off balance he was on that shot. It was just enough contact for him to go to the line.
First personal against Petty, 14 foul. Both teams are in range of drawing the bonus. Both free throws go to tie it up at 50. 14 points for Edwards. Kickball violation. We'll reset the inbound in the 24 seconds on the shot clock. Lynch to Showell. Showell draws the reach, and now St. Clair's into the bonus. Edwards with his first personal on the game.
And again, a shame Shallow just taking responsibility, filling in for Gomez Jr. today. He's doing a real good job finding his way to go inside the basket and find open looks for his teammates. He now has 7 for the evening.
Indeed. Showell makes the second free throw. And Showell's continued to grow in his role. Originally started off the bench, then moved into a starting role in the second half of the season. Edwards, meanwhile, gives it to the corner. No good. Rebound picked up Alexander. Just kisses the top of the rim. Showell picks up the rebound. Defense scrambling. Harmon finds Petty. Can't get it to go. Alexander forces the miss. Sprinted back up by Brooks. Denzel DePaul outside. Kassim. Brooks slows it down. 12 on the shot clock. Quick pass. Alexander stolen away. Petty sprints it through 2 defenders for 2. Darnell Petty has 4 this game. Spawns back, no good from Edwards. And St. Clair slowing down the tempo this time. Lynch directing traffic with Showell. Petty moving towards the top. Harmon as well. Harmon battling towards the top. Lynch from the top, no good. Showell, the second chance, moves to the same spot.
He anticipated that strong miss, and he was at the right place at the right time.
Showell sprints outside to Lynch. 3 on the shot clock. Tap back to Showell. Poke loose. Shot clock violation. Bruins take possession. Substitutions coming into the game. Hall and Deere back in. Coming out, Lynch and Petty. Take a look at this.
And you know what? Bruins did a real good job eating up on the shot clock. And a tough finish from Darnell Petty.
This grad weekend tour continues. Bruins trail by 4, kick violation on the floor. Even some of the women's basketball players up in the stands for the Bruins knew that was a kick ball from a mile away. Harmon still trying to plead his case, but still 17 on the shot clock for Sheridan. Under 2 minutes to play in the second quarter. Inbound, give it to Edwards. Edwards is throwing first half with 14 points, gives it outside. The defense shuffles, the mid-range drops. Kasim on the bucket. 2-point game. Shawo slows it back down. Willis Paris calling for it in the low post. Given to Harmon, no. Out of bounds it goes, too fast on the pass.
It's the over-anticipation from St. Clair that's really eating them inside. And now Sheridan could tie it up or take the lead again.
And you can see Coach Sykes just moments ago there telling his team what to do on this defensive set. Key possession in this first half. Quick shot, it's good. Kasim again. He's now in the double-digit club, 11 points. 1 minute to go in the first half. Deer for 3, yes sir! 57-54. Edwards loses the handle, picked back up by Brooks. Moved across to Kasim. Stolen away by Shawo, up to Deer. Josiah Deer with the bucket.
And with a smart move, too, to finish it off with 2 hands and off the glass.
Closing stages of the first half. Bruins now trail by 5. Edwards given to Brooks. Brooks the drive, avoids the block, can't make the shot. Second chance off the front rim, shot clock is off. Taken back by the Bruins. Given back to Kasim for the mid-range. Again, it's good. Barber's chair timeout called with 5.7 seconds to go. And the St. Clair coaching staff wants to discuss things as the offensive rebounding popping up and a crucial possession to control momentum into the locker rooms here.
And they're not doing a good job controlling the ball either. But you look at this fast break play, which finished off with Josiah Deer making the smart move, not going for the glitz and glamour, fishing it off easy off the glass.
It's been an exciting first half so far. Just one Barber's chair timeout remaining for St. Clair in the half for reference sake. But here's that mid-range jumper, pardon me there. Either way, St. Clair already discussing what to do play-wise to end off the first half.
They need to control the ball, and they need to get a good look from the mid-range and try to find somebody to finish strong. You're looking at the scoreboard right now. Hussein Shallow is going to be in the game. You also have Miles Hall, so rely on your guards to finish off the first half strong because you're seeing a whole lot of opportunities being wasted from the bigs on defense. So reward the smaller guys when you go in the offense. Let the plays go to them because they only have 5 seconds to work with. Not a lot of time to get in some passes. Just keep it simple.
They'll inbound it from their own baseline. Defense staying all the way back at the three-point line. Showell sets up at the St. Clair three-point line. Hall rolls it himself. Showell picks it up. Hall driving it straight to the hoop, draws the whistle, and that brings an excitement of arms from Harmon.
And this is exactly what I was talking about. Give the ball to the smaller players so they could find some way to finish the first half strong. And Miles Hall was able to take that onus and work it in his favor.
Into the bonus, St. Clair is now for 1.7 seconds, but Hall drains the first of 2. The reason this was so key, chance to be above more than one possession on the scoreboard. Dallas Aikens will come in for the final 1.7 seconds of the quarter. Harmon is out. Edwards likes to just hold on to the ball. At halftime, St. Croix leads 61-56 and a grad weekend thrower. Halftime coverage is coming up after these messages. You're watching We Digital Productions live from St. Croix College's Sportsplex in Windsor, Ontario.
Hi, I'm DJ Smith, head coach of the Ottawa Senators. For the best in local sports coverage, We Digital.
On-Time Express has all of your delivery needs covered with a fleet of 50 vehicles, including cargo and sprinter vans, along with 24-foot straight trucks. It doesn't matter if the freight is big or small. Mont's On-Time Express can guarantee safe and prompt delivery service throughout Canada and the United States. Licensed to broker freight throughout North America, Mont's On-Time Express features same-day delivery service, along with a state-of-the-art dispatching system and live GPS tracking assistance. Mont's is fully insured and Canadian bonded and has certifications with FAST, CTAT, PIP, and SmartWay. Mont's On-Time Express is open 24 hours a day, 364 days a year. To get your delivery moving, contact Mont's On-Time Express at www.montsontime.ca or call toll-free at 877-250-8282.
To the Mont On-Time Express broadcast booth at the half. It's the St. Clair Saints 51 and the Bruins 56. Joining me is the co-head coach of the St. Clair Saints, Matt Sykes. And Matt, there were plenty of lead changes into that game, but I'm sure that's what you expected from this Sheridan Bruins team. What are some of the positives that you picked up from the first 20 minutes?
Our guys never stopped competing the entire half from start to finish. They brought the energy the entire time. The bench was there. I'm really proud of guys the way they played that half.
And honestly, with David Gomez Jr. out for today, Hussein Shallow has done a heck of a job filling into his spot. How is he able to get the team going on in what was a very frantic first half?
Yeah, Hussam's been huge for us, stepping in for go, taking that point role. Miles has been huge. Darnell, those young guys have really just put us to that next level where we can compete with these guys. We're going to rely with them a lot more in the second half.
This is a big weekend for you guys. Sheridan tonight and then Humber tomorrow. What's been said in the locker room to ensure these guys that you got to take it one game at a time, but at the same time, this is the home stretch of the OCAA season?
Yeah, we just talked about our conference and how good it is and how everyone on a night-to-night basis can win. We tell them this is something St. Clair might not have been in for the last 25 years, a battle for first place like this with the big dogs from Toronto. We just told them to enjoy the moment and get the job done.
The big weekend for sure, and you guys are doing a tremendous job up 5 at the half. Matt, thank you for your time, and good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, the co-head coach of the St. Clair Saints, Matt Sykes, just joined me here again at the half. It's the Saints 61 and the Bruins 56. More halftime coverage coming up.
Here, it's about you. Your passion, your skills, stepping up to the challenge. It's here where we rise above, soar to our full potential, and where we become work ready. St. Clair College, it's time to take flight. Rise above the ordinary.
Like our champions, we know what it takes to win. Every day we put on our uniforms and we strive to be the best. Ring after ring, we keep practicing until it becomes second nature. Our craftsmen have put in thousands of hours to master their trade. And when things get tough, we make the adjustments needed to stay on top. Barron Championship rings. This is who we are.
Welcome back for more halftime coverage here at the Sportsplex on We Digital Productions. Like I said in the first half, this is grad week here at St. Clair College. I'm pleased to have one of the graduating seniors here today from the cross-country team, Justin Folkeringa, for 4 seasons. Spent his time with the cross-country team with a lot of accolades. First off, Justin, thank you for joining us and congratulations on a great career.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you, this is your 3rd St. Clair College program you're completing. pre-service firefighter education and training, community and justice service, and carpentry and renovation techniques. You just find a way to keep busy, huh?
Yeah, my main goal is to become a firefighter. So I'm trying to find a job right now that will, lead me in that path, lead me in that direction to become a firefighter full-time. So just gaining all the skills I can while I can, and running is obviously something that I've taken up since grade school. So I've stayed with it all 4 years, and yeah.
And it paid off for you. I mean, you helped the Saints to silver medals in the provincials, and you're also an OCAA all-academic performer. I mean, aside from the accolades, what are you going to miss the most about being part of the St. Clair Saints?
Oh, man. The team, most definitely. All the players and teammates that I've met throughout the years. It's definitely a lot of memories made with them, and I know a lot of them have been my friends, and they're going to be my friends till the end, so that's awesome.
In a career like this, in a moment like this where you were presented the plaque and everything else this afternoon, who do you think of when it comes to moments like these?
My parents, my girlfriend, Nicole, I don't know, my coaches, my teammates, the school, like everyone I'm representing, myself, and I don't know, yeah, it's a great feeling for sure.
It was a tremendous ride, too, with the green and gold. Justin, congratulations and
Thank
all the
you.
best to you in your future endeavors.
Thank you very much.
One of the veterans, Justin Folkeringa of the Saints cross country team. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we return, we'll have Royal Church rejoin me to break down the stats and facts in the first half. You're watching We Digital Productions coverage of OCAA basketball.
I want to understand why.
I want this to be perfect. I want to be inspired.
I want to be challenged.
No matter the reason, our passion to learn brought us here.
Okay, Royal Church now joins me as we welcome you back to the Mott's On Time Express broadcast booth. And Royal, in the first 20 minutes, when I talk about there's a shootout happening on the court, I'm not talking about the return of the Duke John Wayne. I'm talking about these guys, St. Clair and Sheridan, shooting 52% from the field. You can't be surprised at how well-disciplined both of these clubs have been playing so far.
No, I mean, both teams average over 90 points a game, Aaron, so I guess you could kind of expect something like this for a halftime score, 61-56. But I think that's a lot of points. If it ends up that way, it'd be 122 to 112. That's an awful lot of points. So I think one of these teams has to step up and play just a little bit of defense to win the game.
Absolutely. Looking at the key scorers at the end of the first half, Jamal Edwards with 14, another veteran. Dalen Davis stepping up with 13 points. I mean, a guy of that stature, you have to expect him to go down on the basket plenty of times, and he has done that.
I like Dalen Davis. I think he plays a good, hard, tough, aggressive game. And it's showing here today. He's kind of taken charge for St. Clair College and kind of leading the troops. And a lot of times when your best player is injured, a bunch of kids step up and they say, I got to do a little better, you got to do a little better, we all got to do a little better to help us win the game, and that's what's happened.
Filling in for David Gomez Jr. is the same Shallow, 8 points and 6 rebounds and change. He's doing a good job conducting the plays for St. Clair in the first half. I mean, what else can he provide to the table to help St. Clair pull off a victory here?
Well, I think he just has to continue being Hussein, because he's a very smart player, probably the smartest player on the floor. He gets the ball to the right players at the right time. He can shoot it, he can handle it, and I think he and Dalen are the two kids that are going to make the difference one way or the other for the St. Clair Saints.
What can the Sheridan Bruins do to get back in this game and possibly pull off a key win here this weekend?
Well, they're they're obviously a team that scores over 97 points a game, so they can score. Their offense is prolific. Their defense is not so good. So if you keep taking it to them and make them play defense, you know, you can possibly eke out a victory here tonight.
All right, we'll see what happens in the next 20 minutes. At the half, it's the Saints leading against the Bruins 61-56. We'll be back with Jim Flack of the Sheridan Bruins in just a moment.
Hey, Herman Moore here, Detroit Lions legend and 4-time Pro Bowl player. Hey, get your tickets and join me for the 15th annual Westby Awards on Tuesday, March 10th at the Caboto Club.
The 15th Annual Westby Awards are brought to you in part by Unifor Local 444, Lucier Glove and Safety, Hotham Building Materials, AM 800 CKLW, and We Digital Productions.
We are back, and as advertised, I have Jim Flack here, the head coach of the Sheridan Bruins. And Jim, it was a back-and-forth first half. What were some of the takeaways you saw in the first 20 minutes of action?
Well, you can't ask for much more excitement than that if you paid a couple bucks to get in here. That's our league at its best. You know, come playoff time in a week or two, it won't be quite as much up and down, but it still is a fast-paced league, and we got to put more of a premium on getting stops, and I'm sure the Saints think the same thing.
Absolutely. A year ago, you guys are OCAA gold champions over in Georgian's campus right there, and you're able to get a handful of your veterans back this year. How big of an advantage is that going into the OCAA playoffs less than 2 weeks from now?
It's pretty big. It's they know what to do, and it's not necessarily an advantage through the year in that sometimes when you get guys in their 4th or 5th year, they start to, you know, cut corners a little bit. This group has been really good at that. They've only had to be reminded a couple of times that, hey guys, you know, we know a lot of these guys have won 2 championships. So, you know, you got to be careful that they understand this is a brand new team. This is not, we're not trying to repeat everything. We're trying to win with this team. So hopefully that'll be an advantage come March Madness.
How important is that, especially for the veteran leadership, to come together in the second half and win this thing?
Well, it's huge, but it can't just be them. There's just no way. You gotta. Some of our freshmen have stepped up, and some of them, you know, have got stage fright. And you know, in this league, it's really you're in a consistent tryout from the opening tryout until the end of the season, because you never know who's going to step up, and that's been one of our struggles this year. I think we go about 7 deep right now, and we're still trying to figure out with a week to go when the crap hits the fan, who's 8, 9, and 10.
Absolutely. Coach, thank you for your time, and good luck in the second half.
Yeah.
The head coach of the Sheridan Bruins, Jim Flack, joining me. We'll take another quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have action for the second half for you right here from the Sportsplex. You're watching We Digital Productions.
Are you passionate about a particular sport? Would you like to combine it with your education? Are you thinking about a career in one of the many rewarding construction-related trades? Do you love subjects like science, technology, engineering, or math? Take a look at the academies of the Windsor-Essex Catholic District School Board. You'll be glad you did. And years from now, you'll look back on your high school days as the best times of your life. The academies of the Windsor-Essex Catholic District School Board. We're with you all the way.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Windsor, Ontario for more coverage of OCAA men's basketball. Justin Prince alongside Aaron Sanders as we get ready for the start of the third quarter of the Monts on Time Express broadcast booth. Let's take the chance to take a look at your stats after the first half of action, 20 minutes of play. Aaron, it was an exciting first half of action, both teams shooting above 50%.
And like I said, it was a shootout, and I don't mean in John Wayne. 52% from the field for both of these clubs. 3-pointers wasn't a factor in the ladies' game, but boy, does things turn around for the men's game. And the free throws very close to each other, but the key thing to take in, the points off of turnovers and St. Clair's advantages, along with the steals and the rebounds, have been awfully close.
Yeah, just a +1 advantage for the Bruins so far, but take a look again. You mentioned the 4 steals for St. Clair. How do you expect that to transition into the second half of play in terms of adjustments based on those stats alone?
Well, the way I see it, the key reasons why St. Clair has been able to get those steals is because they were smothering Sheridan defensively. So I have to find, if I'm Sheridan, I would just tell them make crisper passes and start passing it more to your little guys so they could cut right inside to the basket. I get it. The bigs could park right down on the paint day and night and score those easy buckets. But I think the key players are the small guys like Jamal Edwards and Nick Campbell, because they've been able to score a combined 26 points out of 56 that the Sheridan Bruins have scored.
Yeah, is that a concern to you if you're the Bruins to have all those just a couple players being a majority of your offense?
Well, I see it as a little bit of a concern because I talked to Jim Flack at halftime. Yeah. He says that this is the time for the freshmen to step up, and they still have cold feet. They can't have cold feet at this stage of the season because provincials are coming up. So you have to find somebody else outside of the veterans to step up. So I expect a more bigger game from the bench than it was in the first half, because only 13 points were scored off the bench.
That is a major amount. And of those, 12 of them were by Kasim alone on 6 of 8 shooting. The rest of the bench shot an over, essentially. Just one made free throw from Cisse was the rest of that bench scoring. But we're underway for the start of the third quarter for OCAA men's basketball action. St. Clair Saints with the first possession. Petty, Shawo, Harmon, Davis, Willis, Paris, the 5. Darnell Petty pulls up for 3. Can't get it to go. Ball goes off the Bruins. Stays St. Clair possession. 8 on the shot clock as it didn't draw iron. That time it went off Stephon Simpson. Simpson lined up alongside Edwards, alongside King, Denzel DePaul, alongside Campbell, the 5. Willis Paris gives it to Petty. The drive, the bucket.
And we've been seeing a lot of tough takes from both of these clubs since the game began, JP. And that's just a testament of how strong the defense have been. But you just have better execution on offense.
Edwards so far today has been the leading scorer for the Bruins, 14 points. Campbell with 12. He can't make that shot. Davis sprints it up the floor. Petty. Off to Harmon. Swung around the world to Shawo for 3 off the front of the rim. Offensive rebound by Davis. St. Clair starting from the perimeter for the first part of this third quarter. Again, no good from deep. 63-56 the score, just past a minute into the third quarter on We Digital Productions. Jumper, it's good. Denzel DePaul. Sprints it back up by Shaw. In response, Harmon the putback.
He just went right into gravity and just got that tip in to go.
Harmon forces the miss. Second chance picked up by the Bruins. Still 16 on the shot clock. Campbell swings his way around the outside perimeter. An offensive foul drawn by Petty. Denzel DePaul draws the personal.
It's a crying shame for Denzel DePaul because he had that half spin going on and was about to spin right back for the fadeaway, I bet. But good job from Darnell Petty with the placement down near the semicircle.
Second personal against Denzel DePaul tonight. Harmon. Met up at the top by Campbell. A hard hit for the second time tonight. That goes against Shaw. A personal does. As Campbell gets helped up off the floor. One personal foul apiece so far. Let's take a look.
Yeah, and once again, Shallow just bumped right in to Nick Campbell. And that drew the foul.
That's the second time he's had a collision like that tonight. The first one was again with Harmon in the first half.
Yeah, it was right down to the post.
And already getting ready for the inbound is Campbell as the claps come from across the arena. Given once more to Simpson. Simpson kicked outside. Stepping on the line, King, they'll go back the other way. And here comes the press again for the Bruins as things start to go St. Clair's direction. Harmon gets it across the timeline, given to Petty. Davis, wide open for 3, off the front of the rim. Picked up the rebound, Denzel DePaul. Edwards, once again, pumps from his hot spot. Bruins work on the far side. Edwards cuts between two defenders, met at the top, missed. Davis on the board. Sprints it back up for Showell for the bucket.
It's been a while since he's seen St. Clair score a field goal, and to get a good look from the same Shallow is always a spirit lifter.
It's been a slow start to the corner for the Bruins, just 2 points so far, and more than 2 minutes of action. Foul goes against Dalen Davis, meanwhile, his first personal. Here's a look.
And Nick Campbell going to work on Dalen Davis. Just smothered right into the basket.
Campbell, 12 points on the night so far.
Make that 13.
And it's a perfect 4 for 4 from the line. Very efficient when he's gone to the strike. He was a 79% shooter entering the evening. He's now 4 for 4. Check that, 5 for 5. Willis Paris gives it off to Shao, again breaking to the press. Give it to Petty. Drive in traffic, no good. King on the rebound. Move back up by Simpson. Simpson over Harmon, no good. Taken back up by Petty. Petty to Shao. Again for 3, splash. Double-digit lead again for St. Clair. Approaching 4 minutes into the third quarter. Drive by Campbell, stripped away by Harmon. 70-60, St. Clair the score. Shallow with the basketball. A 3-2 zone setup now for the Bruins. Shallow, the corner, can't get it to go. The bench wanted to erupt on that one.
Yeah, but you can't rely on the 3 all the time, even though you have a good spot for it.
Edwards, with his hot spot from the top, drains it. He's drained a few from there, a few just offset to the right on the three-point line as well tonight.
Very crucial.
7-point lead for the Saints. Willis Paris, given the Shallow. Drives it in, can't make the teardrop. Davis, second chance inside the double, gets it.
How about the bunnies from Dalen Davis? Once again, all this time St. Clair gets second chance opportunities. They go right into traffic.
Willis Parrish strips it away. Harmon takes it up the floor. Petty kicked off to Davis. Drives it through, spins it through, gets it through.
You're not going to get a sweeter shot than that.
And a whistle called on the floor. This one going against the Bruins, it appears. Or check that, St. Clair's Petty.
Look at that. That's the dream shake right there. I thought it was long and dead, honestly. And then Dalen Davis gets the fake, spins around, and gets the 2.
Petty called for his second personal. 13 foul of the quarter. 11-point lead for the Saints. Drive in, Campbell draws 2 with 5:25 to go in the third. Willis Paris called for the blocking foul. Dalen Davis checked that, his second personal. Next foul will put the Bruins in the bonus. And all of a sudden, St. Clair in foul trouble. Bruins trying to get themselves to strike to keep themselves within single digits, Aaron.
And you know what? I don't see, honestly, I don't know if it's you or just me. I don't see a key difference in the Bruins men's and women's team. They play pretty identical. They find themselves to get back into the game by way of the free throw line. They have well-experienced veterans that know what to do and help corral a young team like this. But what does that tell you about the Sheridan Bruins organization? Well-disciplined.
Indeed. Davis sizing up, loses the ball. St. Clair keeps possession with 10 on the shot clock.
Dalen Davis is just pulling out all the tricks in the book today, from the dream shake to the double crossover. He's just opening up opportunities for St. Clair tonight.
Davis cuts in again, it's good. Davis with a stellar 21 points on the evening. Campbell the drive back, no good once more. Penny to Willis Paris. Inside, no. Davis loses the ball in the bunny. St. Clair keeps possession. They say it was swatted away. What a performance by Davis.
Honestly, it feels like just when we thought we've seen everything, he adds more to his arsenal.
And Davis again makes it down low. A wash, rinse, and repeat of the play prior. Long shot, it's good. Denzel DePaul. Still a 78-68 lead for St. Clair. Again, Harmon. No. Campbell moves it on up to Edwards again from three. Avoids the foul. Harmon with the board. A thrower here in Windsor. Again, a crucial game for playoff positioning. Sheridan, Humber, Redeemer entered the weekend, tied in the standings. Willis Paris with the big three. And the ball flings its way to the scorer's table. Bombers share timeout coming up. The Bruins want to discuss things after another big three.
And Willis Paris, he's been spotty with his shooting the whole year, but when it comes to close situations, he could deliver.
81-68 now the score as the Bruins go to the clipboards and the drawing board. After a close first half, this lead has just ballooned in this third quarter.
Absolutely. I mean, when it comes to St. Clair, they have some nice, they move the ball real well, and they find their guards to get the job done. But you have to be impressed with what Dalen Davis has been delivering since the game began. I mean, he pulls out anything from his bag of tricks and is able to finish and get the job done.
We mentioned the importance of this game about Sheridan, Humber, and Redeemer all having 13-4 records. This Bombers chair timeout can be crucial to try and get back into this ball game because St. Clair, mind you, entered right on their heels with that 12-4 record. Top three positions end up have the right to host a crossover playoff game February 29th rather. The way that works is if you're one of the top three teams in the West, you'll host a crossover game against the East Division seeds 5 through 7. Humber, mind you, St. Clair is outside that picture. It helps their situation to get one of those crossovers.
And that would be a key win for them, but you have to understand they can't rely on everybody else to help them out because they got Sheridan today, Humber tomorrow, and then on the weekend they finish off their season on the road against Redeemer and go over to Kitchener-Waterloo to play Conestoga.
Yeah, some 3, make it 4 key opponents for the final 4 games of the season, to say the very least, including tonight. After the timeout, Bruins with the basketball. Simpson lined up alongside Campbell. Kasim back into the ball game alongside Denzel DePaul and Edwards, the 5. And back to the line goes Sheridan. Edwards this time. Check that Simpson.
You see Simpson bringing it right onto the left side. And met Hassam Shallow.
Shallow second. And now the Bruins are in the bonus. They've had just one personal foul for themselves in this game tonight. 81-70 now the score. On the floor for St. Clair, Lynch lined up alongside Shallow. Harmon, Deer, rounding out the 5 is Petty. Lynch outside to Shallow. Collision down low. Back the other way we go. Offensive foul against Lynch.
You see Lynch starting out with the inside-out dribble, but he was unaware that Jamal Edwards was right there. But again, with great positioning, it just opens up an opportunity for Edwards to draw the charge.
Moved around the outside by the Bruins. Edwards using the footwork to lean back, can't make the mid-range. Josiah Deere takes it back up and they say it's a carry. And Josiah Deere can't believe that one. Either way, Sheridan possession. Approaching 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, Aaron. At this point, what do you expect Sheridan to do to try and bounce back?
Give the ball in the hands of Nick Campbell. Honestly, he has a mismatch against Juwan Lynch. 5 on the shot clock.
Moved up for the mid-range. No good. Whistle down low. Petty raising his hands. It is on Petty to bring the Bruins back to the line, his third.
And these fouls are happening off the ball, so that has to cause an alarming factor because, you know, most of the off-ball fouls have been coming from the bigs. You get them in foul trouble, then that's going to cause a situation. That's going to have to prompt St. Clair to adjust accordingly.
Dylan Davis comes in as response as the first one rims out for Edwards. And again, Edwards has had an impressive night. Multiple triples, 17 points, and some nifty footwork to get some of the buckets.
Well, he's been doing it the old-fashioned way, hard work.
The free throw made it 18 points in the night. The lead still 10 for St. Clair. Shawo gives it outside, goes to the coaching staff instead of Deere. Bruins now looking for a chance to build some momentum. Edwards loses the ball, taken away by Harmon. Josiah Deere cuts in off of his hands into the green curtain it goes. Miles Hall coming in for Shawo. And all of a sudden, you can almost feel the tension to the building. The St. Clair momentum has started to shuffle its way out the door.
And going into the Bruins' favor.
Edwards inside again, can't get it to go. And that's one of the main things, even with St. Clair starting to make mistakes the past couple minutes, Aaron, the Bruins have not been able to take advantage on the scoreboard.
You know, in the last few games, St. Clair has blew their lead away, and this is around this time in the game where, like you said, the momentum starts to shift the other way.
The Lambton game, that reference where they lost 88-83 after leading by double-digit points. Ball tapped out of bounds. Campbell comes from the stands. St. Clair possession. Bruins coaching staff thought that might have been tipped, but Hall sets things up. 10 on the shot clock. Moved off to Lynch from deep. The putback, it's good.
Deere was all alone for that shot. Look out.
Charged back up by Campbell. Simpson to Campbell again. Loses the dribble, avoids the dive. And a reach and call, Josiah Deere before the shot. That's going to bring in a substitution. Subban coming in. Take a look at this putback.
And pay attention to Josiah Deere coming into your screen. Nick Campbell, the only thing he could do is just reach in, but it was just too much for him.
And that shuffling too, you've seen that. He was behind Campbell when the shot went up. Quickly got right in front of him to avoid that box out attempt. Campbell, though, makes the first two at the strike. For Campbell, it's been an up and down day from the field specifically. A lot of his points have come from the free throw line, especially in the second half.
18 total points for him.
10-point lead still for the Saints. Under 90 seconds to play in the third quarter. Lynch cuts it in. Over top, no good. Taken now up the floor. Denzel DePaul. And another carry. The second of the quarter. And St. Clair takes possession. Quickly, St. Clair charging its way to the bucket. Deere moved across, bounced around. Lynch Tapped around. Campbell the steal. Simpson with the ball. Kasim to Campbell. Over Willis Paris, yes.
The fact that he was able to get that pass wrapped around Willis Paris was just a sheer testament that the Bruins, once again, has a high ball back IQ here into the season. Great wraparound pass.
And the athleticism to complete said high IQ play. 8 seconds on the shot clock for St. Clair now. Willis Paris contested 3. Can't get it to go again. And another whistle drawn. Kasim this time draws it. Josiah Deere in the vicinity. That was on the battle for the rebound.
It's a crying shame as take another look at that wraparound pass. That's just smart. That's just a smart play, Kasim to Campbell.
Instead of essentially forcing the contested shot up. Kasim makes the first of 2. And a majority of the points for the Bruins coming from the stripe this half. The second one no good. 7-point lead. About a 5 or 6 second difference shot clock and game clock. Hall with the screen with Willis Paris. With the right hand, yes. Shot clock is off. Bruins slow it down. Campbell looks to get to work. 5 seconds on the clock. Pulls up for 3. Can't bank it home. After 3 quarters of play, St. Clair leads 85-76 the score. We're back with the final 10 minutes of regulation. After these messages, you're watching We Digital Productions live from the St. Clair College Sportsplex in Windsor, Ontario.
Hi, I'm DJ Smith, head coach of the Ottawa Senators. For the best in local sports coverage, We Digital.
On-Time Express has all of your delivery needs covered with a fleet of 50 vehicles, including cargo and sprinter vans, along with 24-foot straight trucks. It doesn't matter if the freight is big or small. Mont's On-Time Express can guarantee safe and prompt delivery service throughout Canada and the United States. Licensed to broker freight throughout North America, Mont's On-Time Express features same-day delivery service, along with a state-of-the-art dispatching system and live GPS tracking assistance. Mont's is fully insured and Canadian bonded and has certifications with FAST, CTAT, PIP, and SmartWay. Mont's On-Time Express is open 24 hours a day, 364 days a year. To get your delivery moving, contact Mont's On-Time Express at www.montsontime.ca or call toll-free at 877-250-8282.
Taking a look at the Sheridan Bruins bench as they trail 85-76 after 3 quarters of play. Welcome back to We Digital Productions' coverage of OCAA men's basketball. Justin Prince alongside Aaron Sanders, the Mont's On-Time Express broadcast booth. An interesting third quarter, just 4-14 shooting for the Bruins, but 10 of 12 from the stripe.
That's half of the points they scored in the third quarter, but it was St. Clair who outscored them 24-20 in that third frame. And you've seen the field goal percentage drop down to between 46 and 48% for both of these squads.
46.4% to be precise, but man, oh man, St. Clair looking to try and close things out here with this lead. It could be anyone's game though. Shawo airballs the triple. Picked up the rebound by Kasim. Kasim called for the travel before the shot. St. Clair takes possession of the ball.
Well, let's see it again. Well, he hopped on his off foot.
Move back up by St. Clair. 85-76 the score for those tuning in on We Digital Productions. Justin Prince alongside Aaron Sanders. Driving in Hall. Off the back of a Bruin, stays St. Clair possession with 10 on the shot clock. On the floor for St. Clair, Harmon alongside Willis Parrish, Shawo, Hall, Deer, the 5. Willis Parrish gives it to Shawo. Cuts it in. Driving, no good. Battle for the ball, picked up. Fresh 14 off the front rim. Rebound by Campbell, sprints it up the floor. Draws the contact, count it, and the foul. Hall pleading his case. That's his first team foul of the quarter. And the Bruins with a chance to bring the deficit down to 6. Drains it. Campbell, a perfect 10 for 10 tonight from the stripe.
That's just outstanding, because you heard me say at the beginning of the game that Sheridan would find some ways to get back into the game, and going to the free throw line was one of those things.
Hall for 3, off the right side of the rim and out. Bruins basketball. Again, the Sheridan Bruins enter tonight 13-4 on a 2-game winning streak. Amongst that 3-way tie at the top of the OCAA West standings. Campbell given to Simpson. Long shot, no good. Picked up once again for the fresh 14. Subban, no good. Deer on the board. Shaw with the ball. Swung back to Deer. Moves it up for 3. Yes! Josiah Deer with the 3. He's got 20 tonight. Campbell outside to Simpson. Rejected by Deer. Harmon slows it down. Hall sizing back. Resets the play. Cuts it in. Outside. Willis Paris from beyond the arc. Count it. Foot on the line on the shot. 90-79.
Unbelievable.
Hall on the assist. Just past a quarter of a way through Q4. Denzel DePaul draws the whistle. Willis Paris on the personal. Second team foul. First against Willis Paris. Dalen Davis to come back into the ball game. Willis Paris out. For Denzel DePaul, 13 points on the evening so far. And as we talked about, Sheridan, majority of their points coming from the stripe, 50% of them in that third quarter alone.
20-point quarter, 10 of them from the free throw line.
They tie it up at 10, make it a 10-point game rather once again. But it's just been that type of a night. Harmon to Shallow. Shallow directing traffic. Davis battling with the mismatch. Harmon driving. Harmon draws contact and one once more.
It's been that kind of night where all the shots have been from tough attempts. And here we go again. Jalen Harmon with all of his body, all that stature, balancing his shot and drawing the contact.
Harmon to complete the N1. It's been an up and down game, especially from the field. Started hot early, went cold for much of this night. Now is in double-digit points. Every single Saint, in fact, on the floor at the moment has 10 or more points. Campbell draws contact. Harmon wanted the jump ball instead. Call for a second personal. And Sheridan once again is going to the free throw line well.
Well, that's been their niche since the third quarter, and why not?
The leading scorer in the OCAA makes the first of two. Your thoughts on how he's performed tonight? He's been getting better and better.
Well, he's been reacting under pressure real well, and for all the new players that has gathered on this Bruins squad, he's been the guy that they could lean on to and everything else. But cliches aside, he's been making those baskets the hard way. There hasn't been an easy shot from Nick Campbell, I believe, since the game started.
St. Clair definitely trying to keep the clamps on him.
Oh
Deer
my.
draws 3 free throws on the contact. And that blocking foul will bring St. Clair to the stripe. Foul going against Campbell. And look at this.
Yeah, Nick Campbell overcommitting. First, he got stopped by that Jalen Harmon pick, and he tried to work his way around and try to complete the play. But he was just too late on the assignment.
Campbell's third personal. Second team foul. Deer missing the second free throw. 94-82 the score. 6:33 to go in the fourth quarter. And the third one misses. Shallow, though, keeps the possession alive. Given off to Harmon. Hall sizes up. 2 on the shot clock. Chucks it up for near half court. Not even close. Taken back up of the Bruins. Moved up by Danzo to Pop for the bucket.
Going coast to coast. And St. Clair having no answers.
Davis, meanwhile, sets up in the bottom corner of your screen. Schall sets up at the top. Moved off to Harmon. Davis battles in the post. Spinning through 2 defenders. Can't get the spinning roll. Deer gets the N1. Josiah Deer to the stripe once again for the second time in about 40 seconds. Penny back onto the floor. But look at this putback again from Deer.
He's just having a monstrous game tonight. 23 points in total. As a barber's chair timeout is called for the Sheridan Bruins.
They have 1 barber's chair timeout remaining here in the second half. And they have just stayed around this plateau of around 10 points or so down for much of the second half since that scoring burst to start the third quarter for St. Clair.
And you know what? It's just amazing to see how St. Clair is working his wonders right there. Josiah Deer, fearless. But for the Sheridan Bruins, they have to find some answers because they're now realizing the bigs are on the court. They could shoot anywhere. In the paint, mid-range, long range. I mean, Sykes and company have been doing so well in making their players into versatile ones.
You can see when they've been trying to get things around, Josiah Deer's been there just about every single time. Both ends of the floor. Offensively, we've seen the putbacks, the three-point shooting, but he's been there for the blocks as well. By the way, score update in that very crucial positioning, Redeemer Royals. They take the W tonight over the Canadore Panthers. 94-77 is the final. Conestoga Condors, meanwhile, in a tight one, beat the Fanshawe Falcons. That's going to help St. Clair a little bit.
Oh, yes, absolutely, when it comes to the standings. And how about this one? Lions over the Hawks.
With the victory, there's a chance they can end off the night, moving up some positions in the standings in the West.
But keep in mind, the Saints got Samson Downey and the Hawks here tomorrow afternoon.
Absolutely. That's going to be a tough matchup. Still have to hold on. 5:30 to go. 4 on the shot clock. Edwards, no good from deep. Ball tapped out of bounds, stays Sheridan possession. And again, we emphasize, both of us, I think, at this point, remembering what happened against the Lambton Lions, especially in the third and fourth quarters for St. Clair. Edwards rejected again. Josiah Deere with a beastly night. Bruins inbounded with 8 on the shot clock. Subban off to Simpson. Pick back up to Edwards. Kick to Simpson. Beating the buzzer off the front of the rim. Davis rips it down in a sea of blue. Petty sprints it by the blue jerseys. Off to Harmon. The corner 3. Can't get it to go. Deere can't get the putback to draw. And both coaches were ready to jump out of their seats to cheer on that one. Campbell swings it around to Edwards. Move to Subban. Again, back and forth on the outside. 7 on the shot clock. Campbell fading back off the back of the rim. 13-point advantage. Davis sizing up. Moved over to Deere. The deep 3, yes indeed!
How impressive has St. Clair's shot point choices been tonight, JP? They break the century mark. Fantastic.
Edwards drains the 3 back. And a Bombers share timeout back. St. Clair wants to discuss things in a 187 game. My goodness, Deere with the hops, the buckets. It's been his type of night, 27 points.
He's been waiting for a kind of breakout night to happen for him. And in a crucial weekend like this, he rose to the occasion. He's knocking down trays. He's doing everything that a coach loves to see from his players, being aggressive on both ends of the floor, which stirs up some concerns for Sheridan, of course.
Especially still down 13. You can already see some of the veterans speaking up in that huddle. What do you think they're saying?
They're saying you have to keep your head up. At the same time, you got to go out there and keep on fighting. There's no point of playing if you have your head down thinking that this game's well out of reach. There's plenty of time left. You're looking at about 4 and 8 to go here. You're only down 13. A 13-point turnaround is possible, so they have to keep their head up, but at the same time, they have to put a body on St. Clair's bigs now. Because I think you got one of the most versatile lineups on the floor right now for St. Clair. Harmon, Petty, Shallow, Davis, and Deere down the back.
Shallow getting the inbound pressure by the Bruins. Back and forth across the timeline. Shallow loses the ball. Picked up by Campbell. Simpson passes it along, tapped out of bounds by the Saints. 3:55 to play. And that's the type of defense the Bruins need if they want to come back.
They have to keep St. Clair smothered up. Offensively, what can they do?
That's the key. Needing some buckets. Edwards. Driving. Mid-range at the free throw line. Again, no good. He's been struggling for the mid-range in the second half. Showell calling for direction. Looking Petty's direction. Petty cuts to the outside corner. Showell with the ball. Harmon with the screen. Cuts in. Petty trying to find some space. Davis outside off the front of the rim. Campbell charges it up once more. Cutting through 2 defenders, overshoots it. Davis on the glass. Move back up once more. Petty the spin. Gets the ball twice over. Poked back out to Harmon. Keeps it inside the Saints part of the court. 10 on the shot clock. Under 3 minutes to play in the fourth. 187 the score. Deere, the 3. No good. Bruins might have got a piece on that one. Simpson. Driving, Deere forces the miss. Second chance, Subban, it's good. Showell charging back up between 2 defenders. Down low. Petty, tough shot, can't get it to bounce. Both teams going full throttle offense. Edwards draws the whistle for personal against St. Clair this quarter. Harmon on the blocking foul. Harmon second. Make it third.
It all starts with the cross-court pass. Edwards just absorbing Harmon's contact.
And from there, that puts St. Clair in a box. Next foul puts the Bruins in the bonus.
The Bruins have one foul to give.
Campbell, tough shot, tough bucket. Leads down to single digits. Hold on to the edge of your seats. Davis to Deere, extra pass to Showell, the big shot, yes indeed! Back to double digits, under 2 minutes to play. Ball poked loose, goes off Josiah Deere and out. That Showell triple, if they can hold on, St. Clair can, might be the dagger.
He was all alone for that three, and just good hustle from Shallow off the inbounds pass. It stays with Sheridan.
Ball was poked immediately out the baseline. There's still 1 minute and 53 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, though. Edwards nearly lost the dribble, has it poked away. Josiah Deere draws the quick whistle, and there's the foul to give.
Yeah, because if Josiah Deere was left alone, he would have went in for an easy two. And now you're under 2 minutes.
That goes against Danzo DePa, his fourth personal.
He's in foul trouble along with Nick Campbell, who has 3.
Now the question's gonna be, do the Bruins start to foul? Or when they do, rather. Petty giving to Davis. Back inside, Petty. No. Davis, no. Third chance, yes!
I think that did it right there, JP. Second and third chance opportunities abounds as Dalen Davis continues the damage.
Sylvan draws the whistle, going to the stripe to shoot for 2. Davis on the contact. That puts the Bruins in the bonus. But either way, this would be a huge victory for St. Clair if they can continue to hold on for these next 86 seconds.
And remember, they have a big task ahead of them tomorrow against the Humber Hawks, who lost to Lambton not so long ago over at the Lambton gym. And keep in mind, anybody that goes to Lambton, they have to understand, they have to bask in that moment because they might have a second chance at it in the provincials a couple of weeks from now.
Don't forget the Humber Hawks entered the weekend, the top-ranked team in the OCAA and 8th in the country in terms of rankings. Sheridan, 4th in the province, 15th in the nation. St. Clair, 6th in the OCAA. Do the math, and this is an upset. Josiah Deere gives it off to Hall. Back to Deere. For the dagger. No. Rebound picked up, stays St. Clair possession. D'Emmanuel Jambo amongst the players back on the floor here, but the Bruins, again, such a great first half. Just that slow shooting in that third quarter put them behind the 8 ball, especially with buckets from that man.
Josiah Deere just continuing to blow up the charts. 30 points for him. Could he add 2 more?
Yes, he does! Josiah Deere with the steal and the layup. The largest lead of the game right now for St. Clair. Banked in for the 3. And the Bruins have already cleared off their bench. Lots of young players getting some playing experience in the final minute of this ball game. For the St. Clair Saints, they needed a big-time victory starting grad weekend against Sheridan. They have the Humber Hawks tomorrow, looking to fight for playoff positioning. Tonight, as they dribble the clock down, they'll have one more possession to watch for. 110-96 the score. A big victory for the St. Clair Saints program. Bruins, one last shot. Can't bank it home. Josiah Deere finishes with 32. and the Saints win 110-96 is the final. Their 13th win of the season, their 9th win at home. For the Bruins, they drop to 13-5, and that snaps their 2-game winning streak. Post-game coverage coming up after these messages. Once again, your final score, 110-96. You're watching We Digital Productions, live from the St. Clair College Sportsplex in Windsor, Ontario.
Here, it's about you. Your passion, your skills, stepping up to the challenge. It's here where we rise above, soar to our full potential, and where we become work ready. St. Clair College. It's time to take flight. Rise above the ordinary.
Like our champions, we know what it takes to win. Every day we put on our uniforms and we strive to be the best. Ring after ring, we keep practicing until it becomes second nature. Our craftsmen have put in thousands of hours to master their trade. And when things get tough, we make the adjustments needed to stay on top. Baron Championship rings. This is who we are.
Welcome back to the Sportsplex in St. Clair College with the final score, the St. Clair Saints 110, the Sheridan Bruins 96. I'm Aaron Sanders in the Mont's on-time Express broadcast booth, joined by the player of the game, Dalen Davis. Double-double outing for him tonight, 23 points, 15 rebounds. And it was, Dalen, to me, it looked like an even scoring game in the first half, but in the second half, you guys turned it on. What were some of the adjustments you made in the locker room?
Well, we just knew that they was going to come out with a lot of effort, so if we beat them with the effort, we knew we would win the game.
Absolutely. How were you able to get involved in the game today? Because usually we see you scoring at around 8 to 10 points, but you just went off like a firecracker tonight.
It wasn't just me either. It was the whole team. We knew since David Gomez was out there, everybody would have to step it up, so that's what we did.
And the same Shallow did a good job about that. You talk about your team. I mean, how crucial was this win for you guys, knowing that you have another big task tomorrow night?
It was very big. This was our goal, so it's a big win for us.
Absolutely. Dalen, congratulations on the win, and we'll see you back here tomorrow afternoon.
All right, thank you.
All right, Dalen Davis ending the night off with the double-double, 23 points, 15 rebounds, and the 110-96 win against the Sheridan Bruins. And I'm going to be joined by Royal Church in just a matter of seconds, and we have some stats for you to take a look at, because this is quite interesting, because the OCAA season's coming to a close, and we'll take a look at the updated standings in my oh my. With the Humberhawk loss and everything else that has transpired today, Royal, St. Clair now bumped up second place with a 13-5 record.
Wow. I'm excited. Everybody here at St. Clair should be excited. Brendan Sagand and Matt Sykes should be very happy with what they've done with this team. They've taught them how to play disciplined basketball. They've taught them how to win. And that had been very difficult for St. Clair in the recent past. So they sure deserve a lot of credit. And to see St. Clair right up there in second place does my heart good.
It's been a year since St. Clair has been among the elite in the Western Division, so it pays off for everybody. But hold on a second. There's still one more challenge ahead of them, the Humberhawks tomorrow. Samson Downey and company coming in. They're going to be looking for a vengeance after losing to Lambton Lions tonight. I mean, let's talk about this Humberhawks team, because this is something that everybody wants to look up for.
Yeah, they're always tough to beat. They're always well coached, and they always have some of the best athletes in the entire OCAA. So, you know, you can expect a real battle tomorrow, and you can anticipate the Humberhawks, like you said, after losing tonight to Lambton, to come in here with fire in their eyes and ready to compete big time. But this is like, what more would you want if you were a basketball fan than to come to St. Clair tomorrow and see two powerhouses like Clair?
What could you ask for, right?
What more could you ask for? Exactly. So So people out there in Wee TV land, get in this gym tomorrow and support this team because this might be one of the biggest games they've ever played.
Absolutely. Seniors Day is tomorrow afternoon. We invite you to tune in as the St. Clair Saints will play the Humber Hawks. Women's action first at 1 p.m. with the awards ceremony prior to that. And then at 3 p.m. will be men's action here from the St. Clair College Sportsplex. That'll do it for us. The final score, once again, the St. Clair Saints 110, the Humber Hawks 96. Big thank you to our crew here, and we're back here to do it all again tomorrow. And until then, on behalf of Royal Church, JP, Justin Prince, and the entire crew, this is Aaron Sanders saying so long from the Rose City.